That's, and now the side by the plant, just like half that much. Okay, that looks good. Thank you. Hi, sorry. Testing. I'm not sure if we're on the correct mic input, so I'll check the chat on that, and feel free to let me know how it sounds, and I can mess with things maybe a little after I get started for folks at home. Testing. I don't know, testing. Hi. Can I help you find something? Just Melissa's not here today. Hey. Hi. I'm a little tired today, so the warning is just that sometimes, all the time, even when I'm not tired, but worse when I'm tired, I mess up lefts and rights and I curse a little extra. 2 a.m. feels different in your 40s.
But worth it.
So beyond, you don't feel bad for me. Adriana took me to see Beyonce last night.
No, not.
I was getting chills just thinking about it. And I didn't know Camden was coming, and Camden was there too. Yeah, we didn't get to see each other though. 50 plus thousand people. It's just nice to know there's someone out there.
Yeah.
Oh, so great. Spiritual experience. Any requests? Welcome. I see some new faces, maybe unfamiliar faces. Not sure if you're visiting or new here. My name's Mariel. This is Camden. I'll teach the class, facilitate the practice, and come around. I'll be moving about the room, and then Camden will be demoing the practice from the mat, both for folks at home or live streaming, and for folks in the room. If you're new here, everything we offer is an invitation, not an obligation, so please feel free to take it or leave it. And we take requests, so if you have requests, call them out or call me over. And it's not like a speaking hour forever hold your peace model, so like as we start to move, if you feel that there's something your body is asking for, needs or wants, just let us know. Do we have any requests? Hips? IT band? Those are connected. It's all connected. That's what we're here to remember. Oh my god, in sneakers. How the fuck was she doing that? And also it's like, okay, I could talk about it for the next 90 minutes, but we'll talk about it later. Yeah, my foot hurt from standing in sneakers, doing my white girl bounce. Oh my god. Okay. We're here to remember our connection to each other and all that is. This is the point of the yoga practice. Yoga means union. This is the time we take to reunite with ourselves, all aspects of ourselves, not to reduce ourselves down to one point, but really to experience the self in a deep and expansive way. We live in a time that is so devoid of spirit, and really it's our time together, this time together, that keeps me going, just to be in a space where we can move together in a physical way that is a recognition and reconnection to spirit, and then the ways in which I know that ripples out into the world in conscious, subconscious, and unconscious ways. So we're here to breathe together and move together to connect with each other and all that is. the more we do so, the more sustainable that spirit of recognition becomes beyond the mat, in the activities of our daily lives. So just take a moment to notice where you are, how you are, and why you choose to be here now. Is there anything in particular that you need or want from your practice of yoga today? An intention, desire, and aspiration. Look for your breath, for the gift of life that each breath offers, for the flow of this life force energy that fills us, enlightens us, surrounds us, and connects us to each other and all that is. Thread of the breath, the gift of life that interconnects all that is. And just by turning the light of awareness to the presence of the currents of the breath, notice if and how naturally the breath begins to deepen and expand. This entire physical practice of yoga is first and foremost in service to the breath. Invite a slow, deep breath in and down into the earth. Let it fill you up and extend beyond your crown. And on that same inhale, can you draw the breath back down into the heart? And like a match, the breath ignites the heart. And as you exhale, the light of the heart emanates from inside out, illuminating your mind and your body and emanating as far and as wide as you can imagine. So the breath is this instrument that at once attunes and deepens our awareness inward, even as it expands our awareness outward. As you inhale, you draw the outer world in and down and take it to heart. The heart ignites, and as you exhale, you offer the nature and spirit of your heart from inside out, far and wide. Throughout our practice today, we'll align ourselves, engage ourselves, and stretch ourselves with integrity through aligned engagement to honor, to deepen, and to expand our capacity for breath, for energy, and for life, so that we can bring ourselves more fully and wholly with great virtuosity to ourselves and to those in the world around us. On your next inhale, let's bring the hands together before the heart. This gesture is called Anjali Mudra. It's a gesture at once of self-reverence that acknowledges the voice of the true teacher, which is never further than your heart, which is never further than your breath. And it's a gesture of offering, of placing this aspect of ourselves, the voice of the heart, the call of the heart, before us as a guide for at least the time we spend together. Together we'll set the tone for our practice today by sharing the voices of our hearts and the sound of an Om. Feel free to join into the sound or let it wash over you. Deep breath in. Out of your heart, it's always present, the source of supreme love and divine wisdom. Keeping that connection inward, unwavering, gently release the hands, blink open the eyes. She did opera. She sang opera. She's larger than life. So we're capable of more than we realize. So let's do that today in our practice. I say this often, and I'll tie this in, but really important today to invite yourself to experience yourself as a breath with a body, rather than a body with a breath. Feel yourself as a breath with a body. We'll flow in the currents of the breath today. Come on all fours to start in a tabletop position. Find your breath. Feel your connection to the earth. Take a breath, feel your connection to the breath. Then as you exhale, round your back, pause at the top of the stretch, the bottom of the exhale. Inhale to arch your spine. Pause at the bottom of the stretch, the top of the inhale. Let me know if we sound okay at home. Slow down the breath to accentuate the movement. Notice what you feel, how it feels, what you feel it. What are the obvious feelings and sensations for the first few cycles? Do we hear music? No.
Just a little bit.
And now look for what's more subtle. Start to refine your awareness to enhance your sensitivity. Bring your hands all the way up to the top corners of the mat, if they're not already. Now we hear something. Walk your knees back a little bit behind your hips. You can pad your knees with a blanket. Let me know if you'd like me to bring you a blanket or any other props. Big breath in, and as you exhale, send your hips towards the back of the room for puppy stretch, quarter dog. As you exhale, press your palms down, deep into the lap of the earth, and let the underarms lift up. So notice that the shoulders are dropping. As you press the palms down, can you lift your armpits up? And then right between the shoulder blades, soften and breathe into what can't be seen, but can be felt. Inhale to table, claw your hands back to pull yourself forward. You can walk your hands back a little bit towards your knees, and then turn your right palm clockwise, fingers to point towards the back of the mat. As you inhale, float the armpits up, and as you exhale, send your hips back a little bit for more of a forearm stretch. You're driving here. Do you feel a stretch in there? Okay, turn the right palm around, walk your hands up to the top corners of your mat, stretch your right leg back, keep the ball of the foot on the ground, and then stretch the right heel back until you feel a big stretch in your calf. And you can be here and breathe, or you might make it more dynamic by lifting the heel up and pressing the heel back. Do this slowly and or as little as feels appropriate for you. And come into tabletop position. You walk your hands back a little bit, turn your left palm counterclockwise. And even here you can sort of rock a little bit if that feels appropriate. You don't want to overdo it. Some of the tension is literally what holds us together. So we're not in like the full elimination of tension, but we are wanting to expand our capacity to accommodate the tension, to release whatever is there that is diminishing us and holding us back, and to hold on to the shit that's keeping us together. Flip the left hand around, stretch the left leg back, ball of the foot on the ground, and press your heel back for a big stretch through the sole of the foot, the back of the leg. And you can rock up and down, back and forth, or be more still, breathe into what can't be seen but can be felt. This is like a little nerdy. As you stretch the left leg back, that left hip wants to lift. If you wrap the left hip towards the floor and push the inner heel back, you'll get a little down deeper. And left knee to the earth. Let's meet in downward dog. In downward dog, you can pedal your feet from side to side. Bend the left leg a lot to stretch through the right leg. Bend the right leg a lot to stretch through the left leg. breath ignites the heart illuminates the mind inspires the body. Here in this gift of conscious breathing embodiment, as you inhale, float your right leg straight up and back, look forward, lift your bottom heel, exhale, catch your lunge, big step through. Feel both feet on the ground, and on your inhale, ride the breath to reach up. Pause, breathe, feel. Notice both feet on the ground. Linking breath and action as you inhale, pull your feet towards each other. Feel the strength of your legs engage from the ground all the way up into the hips. From the core of the pelvis as you root through the legs, deep down and out into the earth. Stretch up through the thumbs more. And bend the front leg 1, maybe 2 more inches. Everyone press the back knee to the sky. Yes, bend the front leg deeper. That was the expansion of the center. Could you feel that? Plant the hands, downward dog. Pedal the feet if and as you like. Notice any changes, any newfound space through which relative awareness can now flow on the currents of the breath a little deeper, a little fuller. In you as you through you. Find your breath, breath to heart, heart to mind, mind to body. On the inhale, float the left leg straight up and back. Lift the bottom heel, look forward, exhale through lunge. Feel both feet on the ground, and with the inhale, rise up, reach up. Pause to feel both feet on the ground. Not on the earth, but really of the earth. Root your feet into the earth like you're pushing into sand. And then as you inhale, pull the feet towards each other. Feel the strength of your legs turn on from the earth all the way up into your center. And from the power of the center, as you root through the legs, reach up past your fingertips of the sky. You are the connection, the ladder between earth and sky. And as you press the back knee up to the sky, let the front thigh descend to the earth. One more breath in there. On your exhale, plant your hands, downward facing dog. Ride the breath with the body. Inhale to plank. Exhale to lower towards the earth. Inhale for cobra. We'll stay here for like 2 or 3 breaths. Press the tops of the feet down so much you feel press the tops of the feet down so much you feel the tops of the knees get a little lighter. Press the hands down towards each other and back. And as you pull the hands back towards the feet and you press the feet down, slide the bottom of the sternum, the base of your heart center, forward and up. Tip the palate back and drink the breath in. And whisper the breath out as you press the hands down and back. Big breath in, shoulders up and back. And on the exhale, we'll meet in downward dog. Orient yourself to the location of your strap. If you don't have one, let me know. I can bring you one. Anyone need a strap? I got you. Okay, I got you. On the inhale, thanks Jonathan. I'll take 2 or 3 actually. Thanks, my love. On the inhale, float the right leg high to the sky. Exhale, catch your lunge. Pivot your feet to the left for a wide-legged forward fold. Fingertips to the floor or blocks for this one. Fingertips to the floor or blocks. Bend your left leg. You can turn your left toes out a little bit if you like, and just bend into the left leg just until you feel a stretch through the inner right thigh. Can y'all feel that? Doesn't have to be a lot. These are just warm-ups. Push through the left leg. Turn the Inhale to plank. Lower your knees if you like. Exhale halfway, chaturanga, shoulders no lower than elbow height. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward dog. Take your feet at least hips width apart and walk your hands towards your feet. Don't be that person. Bend your knees deep. Give your heels as wide as your second toe. So make sure your feet aren't turning out. Climb your hands up onto the tops of your thighs, legs bent. Take your pubic bone back as you sit back and down. And then the sitting bones and tailbone lengthen, root towards the earth as you reach the arms forward and up, biceps by the ears. Big breath in. As you exhale, sit deeper. Inhale, stand tall. Exhale, hands to heart. You can soften the eyes, close the eyes, feel both feet on the ground. The rhythmic beating of your heart. The presence of the breath. The connection to life and all that is. Release the hands. Inhale, reach forward and up. Exhale, bend the legs, fingertips tap the earth. Tap the earth. Stay this deep in the legs as you inhale, reach the arms forward and up, biceps by the ears. Think sitting bones down, ribs back, head back, biceps back. One more breath, sit one more, sit one more inch. Inhale, stand tall. Exhale, hands to heart. Slow the inhale. Slow the exhale. Release the hands. Slow inhale, reach forward and up. Exhale, bend the legs, fingertips tap the earth. Follow your breath, not my voice. With an inhale, reach the arms forward and up. Exhale, sit deeper. Inhale, stand tall. Exhale, hands to heart. Tap in, connect in, release the hands. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend the legs, tap the earth. Stay deep to the earth as you inhale, reach for the sky, reach for the heavens. Be the bridge that connects earth and sky. Sit a little deeper. Inhale, stand tall. Exhale, hands to the heart. Release the hands. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend the legs, fingertips tap the earth. Inhale, reach forward and up. Exhale, sit back and down. Root into the heels. Inhale, stand tall. Exhale, hands to heart. Pause. Breathe. Feel. Notice. Feel both feet on the ground. Release the hands with your inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend the legs, fingertips touch the earth or blocks. Lean into the fingertips as you press your thigh bones back, reach your heart forward. Exhale, fold over your legs, bow to your heart, the voice of the true teacher. Always present, intrinsically peaceful, utterly powerful, the source of supreme love, divine wisdom, and every virtue imaginable and more. Never further than your heart, never further than your breath. On your inhale, walk it out to plank. Shoulders over the wrist. Press the inner edges of the hands more into the earth to protect the wrist. So the weight's falling to the outer heel of the hand. You gotta press more through the inner edge, so the outer heel of the Bring your blocks out of frame your front foot. And then push your front leg straight. Wrap your left hip forward and tap your right hip crease back. Lift your back heel up high. Yeah, not up. Now bring the back hip forward, the front hip back. Yes, there it is. Are you gonna let go? Okay, good. And press the inner edge of your front foot down and bring your right hand to your right hip crease and tap it back. You feel it? Are you getting your IT band now? Ish. Then, okay, right hand to the block, bend your front leg. Take the blocks down a notch or two. Step your right foot back to meet your left foot, downward dog. And step your left foot up to lunge. We're still focusing on the right leg now. It's your back leg. Lower the back knee down. You can pad with a blanket. Bring your blocks high inside your front foot. And bending the back leg with your right hand, find your right foot. Try to be less on the kneecap and more right above the knee at the base of the thigh. And finding your breath as you inhale, pull the back knee forward. And as you exhale, make sure I draw the ribs back. You want your front foot back a little bit, right? Yes, back the knee. So notice you're sort of collapsing down into the front leg. Can you take the top of your back thigh all the way back to your back heel, like you're moving towards puppy pose or child's pose? So the front of your back thigh is moving towards your back heel. Gently release, downward dog. Any questions on that? Pedal it out, notice any changes, any newfound space. Again, the more you press through the inner edges of the hands, the less you'll feel it in your wrist. Do you get it in your wrist a little bit? On the inhale, float the left leg to the sky. Let the exhale carry the leg through to lunge. Blocks on their highest height. Push the front leg straight for like a goofy pyramid pose. Kind of unconventional Parsvottanasana. Lift the back heel high. Push the front leg straight. Root more through the inner edge of your front foot. And as you root through the inner edge of the front foot and lift the back heel, you can wrap the back hip forward and tap the left hip crease back. It's almost like you're twisting your pelvis, just your pelvis from right to left. And then you can climb your left hand up onto your outer left hip crease and manually, like really pull that left hip crease back. Nice. Yeah, you're fine. It's okay. Breathe into what can't be seen but can be felt. Not to eliminate the tension, but to expand the capacity for flow, for freedom. Okay, bend through the front leg. Step back through dog, preferably not on stiletto blocks. Not to limit anyone. Who am I? My feet hurt wearing sneakers for 3 hours. There were some people who were really committed to their shoe aside last night. We'll step the right foot up to lunge and lower the back knee down. Take your time in the setup here. So this is rarely ever the through to pigeon prep. Slide that right knee outside your right wrist. Take your blocks high in front of you or high to frame your hips. And bending the back leg with your left hand behind your left foot. Press the back knee down and forward to lift yourself up. Find your breath, and here's the key, linking breath and action as you inhale. Pull the knees towards each other. Feel the lift that comes from your strength. If you're tipping to the right, do us all a favor and tip to the left. Just kidding. So yeah, like push through the right block and feel more weight go to your left side, and then pull the left knee forward and you'll get way more lift, way more lightness. Yes, if you can keep that big if, maybe reach your right arm to the sky. Gorgeous. One more full deep breath in there. Gently release, and let's bring our forearms to the floor in front of the front leg. Forearms to the floor. Tuck your back toes under and press the back knee and thigh to the sky. Lift the back knee and thigh up. Big breath in. As you exhale, right foot meets the left foot, forearm plank. Breathe. Hug the legs to the midline. Squeeze the kneecaps up. Lift the thigh bones up. Reach your heart forward. And then lower your pelvis. Just the pelvis, not the thighs. The thighs lift up 2 inches. The pelvis drops an inch. That'll tie you right into the power of your center. Look forward. As you look forward, walk your feet to the top of your mat. Press the wrist knobs down and squeeze the elbows in. Come onto the tippiest of your tippy toes. And as you lean your weight into your forearms, the upper back, the heart, the back of the heart center, press it towards the back of the room. One more of the deepest, fullest breaths. And as you exhale, walk your feet back, lower the knees, rest in child's pose. Press your hips towards the back of the room. Feel the breath in the back and sides of the waist. Like gills on a fish. Feel the back of the rib cage, the bottom back of the rib cage. Lift and expand with the inhale. Soften and contract with the exhale. Walk your fingertips forward, claw the fingertips back to pull yourself forward through tabletop and press yourself back to downward dog. Find your breath. Breath to heart. Mind to body on the inhale. Float the left leg to the sky. Exhale through to pigeon prep. Left knee wide to the left. Get more weight. Close your eyes for a second and deeper. Any questions on that? Bridge pose or Urdhva Dhanurasana? Okay, we're gonna do another back bend. You can stay with bridge pose. You can stack blocks under your sacrum for a supported bridge pose. It's a great variation to add support there where you just like breathe in the form of the back bend with chest and lungs and heart open. And again, if you want something a little more intense for today, it'll be Urdhva Dhanurasana. We'll all start with moving into bridge. So first we make ourselves the instrument of connection. Press the elbows down, stand through the feet to lift your hips up. Press the feet down and forward. Wriggle the shoulder blades in. And the key in this transition, if you're gonna go like further towards Urdhva, is to keep the connection to center. The tendency is as we stretch ourselves into positions, situations of bending over backwards, we don't keep the healthy limit of connection to the heart. So you can feel like when you press the elbows down and wriggle the shoulder blades in, can you feel, really consciously feel the connection between your shoulder blades and your spine and the back of your heart? And can you keep that as you slowly place the hands outside the ears as wide as the mat? The tendency is for that to completely disconnect from the heart in the transition. Good, and then take a beat there, get connected, stay And then head comes down, hands replace the elbows, push the arms straight, gorgeous. As you are, we'll meet together in the lap of the earth, gazing and breath. Let your edges soften, self-perceived limitations, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, let it all soften to be more sensitive, more receptive to the energy that fills us, surrounds us, and connects us to each other in all that is. We're going to ditch the strap and take the feet, knees bent, feet on the floor as wide as the mat. Let both knees fall gently to the right. Totally optional to place the right foot on top of the left thigh. And let the breath be as deep and as full as requires the least amount of effort. Inhale the legs through center. And let both knees fall gently to the left. Totally optional for a left foot to come on top of the right thigh. Inhale the legs to center. We're going to roll all the way to the right, press through arms and meet in downward facing dog. Can you keep good? Good. Pedal the feet a little from side to side. Downward dog's the best counter pose after the deep back bend, in my opinion. On your inhale, flip the right leg high to the sky. Exhale, catch your lunge. Find your blocks. Rock back onto your right heel and insert a block right underneath the ball of your right foot. Lift and spread the toes and push the big toe ball mound into the block like it's a gas pedal and you're going pedal to the metal. Take your other block higher and push your front leg straight. Ooh, yeah. You can stay high on the left block and you can use your right hand to pull your right hip crease back. We want the kneecap lifting up and the thigh bone pressing back more than the kneecap pressing back. And you can play with like bending and straightening the front leg a little bit if that feels good for you. It's like not one size fits all. Soften the jaw, the brow, and deepen the breath. In the face of intensity, find the breath. The breath keeps you connected to heart and spirit. Okay, bend the front leg. Remove the block. Take it back through dog. Push through the arms to lift through the hips and ground through the heels. On the inhale, float the left leg high to the sky. Exhale, catch your lunge. Find your blocks and rock back onto your front heel and insert the block right underneath the ball of the front foot. Lift and spread the toes. Notice if the toes are curling, try to spread the toes. Lift the toes up away from the block. Yes. And then push the big toe ball mound into the block like it's a gas pedal and go pedal to the metal. You can use your left hand to tap the left hip crease back. You lay with bending the front leg a lot and then pressing the thigh bone back, pulling the hip crease back. Breathe, soften the brow, the jaw. The lips can be closed, but the teeth come apart and the tongue rests softly against the roof of the mouth, right behind the top blocks on the lowest height for this. Debating how I want to say this. Can we bring the right hand to the right hip and turn both feet to the right? Yes, turn both feet to the right. And pull the right hip crease up and back. And push through the legs to lift through the hips. Draw the right shoulder back. Good. Inhale to untwist. Downward dog. We wrap ourselves around ourselves to find and hold the center. As the breath flows in, we draw the outer world into center. It's alchemized by the spirit and nature of the heart. And the heart turns that breath into medicine for the outer world as it pours out, heartfelt in all directions. On the inhale, go the left leg high. Exhale, catch your lunge. Right hand to the block, left hand to the hip. Turn both feet to the left. Pull the left hip crease back. Push through the legs to try to lift your hips higher. And left hand to the floor. Pass through center, downward dog. Hands on low blocks or no blocks. Root through the inner edges of the hands. That connection, when the inner edge of the hand becomes one with the earth, then we start to eliminate wrist pain, joint pain. We create stronger connections where things join together. Pivot your heels to the left, open your right arm to the sky for side crescent. Push the inner edge of the bottom hand down and forward so much nice. The lips sit high, the hips lift high, and lean back over your shoulder blades. Gorgeous. Exhale, downward dog. Breath to heart, heart to mind, mind to body. Pivot your heels to the right, open left arm to the sky. Push the inner edge of the bottom hand down and forward so much the hips rise up. As you push through the legs and root through the inner edge of the bottom hand, reach out well past your left fingertips. Exhale to downward dog. Lower the knees down, sit back on your heels, take a sip of water. Okay, about to get a little crazy. It's an invitation, not an obligation. Should I have a show or should I just show? I'll hop on. Okay, so from downward dog, to midnight. We'll step it through to lunge. I have long arms. You could have left hand, this bottom hand to the floor or a block. I'll show with the block. I'm going to take the arm inside the leg and hold the outer edge of the foot. And then as I pivot this back heel to the floor, this foot comes up. Bind yourself to yourself. I'm going inside the leg to the outer edge of the foot. And I like to hook the thumb right inside the little toe. Can you see that? And push through the hand to lift the hips. Okay, looks like that. You can use a strap, but I just like not seeing tight hamstrings so much as a limitation and more prioritizing, like binding yourself to yourself. So again, I hold the outer edge of the foot, thumb inside the little toe. You can be right here. If the hamstrings say yes, you might be here. If the hamstrings say no, you could be here. Maybe open up a little more. If the hamstrings say yes, maybe. Vashisthasana. Something like that. I'll talk you through it. Even if it's just hold the little toe, pivot the heel, this foot just comes up a little. Be here. It's an invitation to find, to feel able to directly experience so much integrity in yourself, and that the more you draw into center, literally the lighter you become. This is not like a mystical thing. It's a physical practice that gives you the direct experience of the gift of embodiment. Bless you. So you connect to yourself, you bind yourself to yourself, you create integrity, and then literally you get light. It's like the effort is not in lifting the foot up. The effort is in finding the center and keeping that connection. And then the foot lifting just happens. We'll try it. Downward dog. Probably do my second side. A little uneven. Can you take a moment, especially if the wrist feels off, let's just meet in downward dog for a second and remind ourselves why we're here. We're not seeking or chasing forms, we're seeking a deeper experience of and recognition of the self. Connection to the self as a reflection of all that is. And so the invitation is for you to do you, and in so doing, to see yourself more deeply, more fully, more clearly, to receive yourself as you are, to open to something greater. Right foot through to lunge. Right hand is right arm will kind of slide inside the front leg, and then hold the outer edge of the foot again. I like to hook the thumb inside the little toe. So you're holding the outer edge of the foot with thumb hooked inside the little toe. Now pivot your back heel to the ground. Pause. Push the bottom hand down and forward. Lift your hips up. And if you draw the right shoulder blade to the back, that foot will lift. Push the bottom hand down and forward. Stand through your bottom leg. Draw your right shoulder blade to your spine. One more breath. Hold yourself together. And then right foot to the floor. Downward dog. And lower the knees. Find a breath. And we'll just check in before the second side. Questions, comments, concerns, conundrums, or any tips? We have a lot of long-time practitioners. What's the back? The back leg is standing, what's the back leg doing? The bottom leg is a great question. Not nothing. If the back leg does nothing, gravity takes over. I'll do the second side. Whew. So if my back leg does nothing, this happens. Anyone sort of feel that pull of gravity? So you gotta stand through the back leg as though you're standing on the back leg. And the more I stand on the back leg, stand on the back leg, stand on the back leg, the more grounded and supportive I feel. So the back leg is doing.
Your foot's flat.
My foot is flat. The back. This is the back leg. It's your standing leg. You just happen to have an arm for a little more support, but the leg should be doing way more than the arm.
I think shortening the stance helps too.
Oh, that's a great pro tip. So if you felt like a little wobbly, tighten it up just a smidge. Meaning take a slightly shorter stance in your dog before coming in. Does that help? Okay. Second side, downward dog. Pivot, step the left foot through to lunge. Bring the left arm inside the left leg and then hold the outer edge of the foot. Maybe have a thumb right inside the little toe. And to Sarah's point, maybe step the back foot in a tiny bit resources, the virtues, could bring more grace and virtuosity to those in the world around us. And so when we get into those tight or edgy places, let's go deeper, look more for the more subtle, like what is coming up, and can we seek and prioritize the breath? The mind can get caught up in what's happening in the physical body, or in a mental or emotional reaction to what's happening. We're going to do it one more time on each side. The invitation is to wherever you are. The invitation is to your edge, not to the form. The invitation is to your edge, and right there, like three good breaths. Doesn't have to be 3 consecutive breaths, because I might like take a breath and then have another breath. You know, like doesn't have to be consecutive, but 3 good breaths. Okay? We'll meet in downward dog. And it's an invitation on obligation. If your wrists are like hooked, yeah. Yeah, the wrist, you're not alone. You have weak wrists. So lower the knees one more time, sorry. The weight falls to the outer heel of the hand because the shoulder blade is falling off the back and we're losing this connection to the back of the heart center. This is like literal, metaphorical, spiritual, all levels. By shifting the weight to the inner edge of the hand, you will get a lift here, and it'll start to draw the energy back up the arm into the heart center. Or you could start from the center and just, I'm gonna be in the center of the room for this. Sorry, folks at home, or Camden can show on the mat. It's like coming into it. When I'm really nerding out here, if I'm having wrist things, like I'll come into plank, even lower the knees, and I'll really get the shoulder blades together. Can you see that? So this is the tendency, shoulders like down and apart. We want shoulder blades, I should be more specific, shoulder blades up and together. And then I want to keep that. A lot of times what happens in that transition is this. Now my shoulders are down and apart. Now my shoulders are up and together. It's harder to find that in downward dog, easier in table or plank. I'll talk you through it in table. And then when the shoulder blades are together, press the inner edges of the hands down so much the outer heels of the hands feel light. If you want to be like a super nerd about it, you can start practicing on ridge tops. That'll help. It'll be really hard at first. And a year from now, if you're consistent, it'll be like strong AF. Okay, and then you want to keep that. So the tendency here, this is the shoulder came out. This is the shoulder blade on the back. Shoulder blade on the back for the spine, inner edge of the hand down. That's the biomechanics of it. And if you can keep the shoulder blade to the spine and the inner edge of the hand down, there will be no wrist pain. But because the rhomboids are weak and the shoulder blade comes off the back and then all the weight falls into the outer heel of the hand, then the wrist crease starts to go. Which is so genius that our bodies speak to us in this way. The body goes, there's a misalignment. We're so wise. There's so much wisdom in the body. So let the effort be to seek the alignment that allows the energy to flow. And when there's an ache or a pain, listen to the body's cue that there's a misalignment. And then rest. Rest is an invitation back up to see this like be in tabletop and start to find that feeling of connection to the upper back, to the back of the heart, keeping that through the inner edges of the hands into the earth. So there's that connection inward and outward simultaneously. Does that make sense? So much to be gained is from the simple, basic mechanics of, like in our practice, the body is a divine gift. And so we treat it as such. Like there's so much more that can be done and should be done. We do 90 minutes of just tabletop. Probably want to keep the doors open. But I'm down if anyone ever wants to do 90 minutes of tabletop. Does that help? So shoulder blades together. Feel the connection of the shoulder blades to the back of the heart. Feel the connection of the inner edge of the hand. Index finger, knuckle. Index finger, tip, and thumb. Inner edges of the hand to the earth. Both at the same time. We'll want to pull each other apart.
downward dog, inhale to plank. Lower your knees if you like. Shrug the shoulders and then soften the upper back so that you feel the shoulder blades come together. And as the shoulder blades come together, press the hips up and back. So your nose goes in. Bend your elbows out to the sides. More for the lie. You're going to elbow these heels in. Yes, there. Now push the arms straight. Feel the difference? Bend your, lower your knees. Okay, everyone lower your knees to the ground. And bend your elbows out to the side until the shoulder blades come together. Yeah, like wide to the side. You should feel, you'll know when the shoulder blades come together. That's how wide you have to go. Now keep the shoulder blades together. Push through the inner edges of the hands to make your arms straight without letting the shoulder blades come apart. Keep your arms straight. Yes, yes. Keep that, take it back to downward dog. That's transformational. You okay? Oh yeah, that will help. If you gotta rest if it's bothering you. Right leg through to lunge. So right here, make the connection between the right hand and the outer edge of the right foot and pause. And notice, do you feel like that left shoulder blade is coming away from the spine? And if so, do yourself a favor, place a block underneath your left hand. It'll bring your shoulder blade more to the spine. Can you feel that? Okay, now pivot the back heel to the ground. And rather than trying to lift the right foot up, can you draw the right shoulder blade to the spine? Big left shoulder blade to the spine, right shoulder blade to the spine, connect to the heart, stand through your bottom leg, 3 breaths. And after your 3rd breath, unwind, take it to down dog or child's pose. Left side through to lunge. We'll meet there. Take your time through that transition. So placing a block underneath the right hand is going to help keep the right shoulder blade in more proximity to the spine. Then left hand will hold the outer edge of the left foot. Pivot your right heel to the right. Stand through the right leg. And now think right shoulder blade to spine, pull the left shoulder blade to the spine. And it's really hugging the shoulder blades together that lifts the foot up. And 3 breaths. Hug the shoulder blades together. And stand through your right leg. And 3 good breaths. And we'll rest in child's pose or down dog. The final pose is coming. It's called Shavasana. I hope you feel almost ready to die. First pose. The final lengthening vinyasa if you desire. Otherwise, we'll meet you in child's pose. And as you're ready, let's meet on our backs once again. Turning the hands up high for a moment. Raise one leg to the sky if you don't have massage balls. One leg. And then when you get your massage balls, you can put the leg down. On your back, you might windshield wiper your legs from side to side. If you like a supine twist, have a supine twist. you want it more intense, you can insert a block on its lowest height right underneath your hips. And reach your arms up to the sky and wrap your arms around yourself like you're giving yourself a great big giant bear hug and wriggle from side to side. And breathe into what can't be seen but can be felt in association with the back bottom of your heart. Then reach the arms to the sky and cross the other arm on top and wrap yourself around yourself and wriggle from side to side. Deep full breaths. And then if you're on a block, remove the block out from underneath you. Put the block to the side. And slowly, slowly at your own pace, start to scooch your tush towards your heels so that the balls are rolling north towards the upper shoulders. When they get to the tops of the shoulders, you can remove them. Just take a beat, feel the upper back soften against, really into the lap of the earth. And then take the balls to the center back of the skull. You'd have to hold them there. Maybe roll them down a little bit lower towards the base of the skull and nod your head yes. Slowly. And nod your head no. Slowly. And as you nod your head no to the right, pause there, and on the right side, nod yes. And when you're ready, nod your head no to the left. And on the left side, nod yes. And come back to center and nod the head yes. And then remove the balls to the side and let the head be heavy in the lap of the earth. Scan your body with your awareness. Stretch your legs out long, reach the arms overhead. Take a huge breath in. If you're pregnant, let the breath continuously flow. Invitation, otherwise, as you inhale, pause at the top, let the breath percolate inside as you stretch from inside out. And then exhale with an audible sigh. Push all the breath out and pause at the bottom for a beat. Release the arms down to the sides. Turn the palms up and bring index finger and thumb tips to gently touch, called Chin Mudra or Jnana Mudra. The eyes can soften and close. One more full body scan to see if there's any final poses, movements, or adjustments that you need or want to make in order to feel completely prepared to fully relax. You can add or remove layers, maybe add or remove props. Spread yourself out on the altar of the earth and make of yourself
hate into hope, and tragedy into triumph, in honor of the life and memory of George Floyd. Today and every day, take a breath for George Floyd and all fellow human beings whose last breaths and lives were taken by state and other forms of targeted violence. Take a breath for equity. Take a breath for justice. Take a breath for accountability. Take a breath for empowerment. A breath for healing. The deepest, fullest breath for humanity. Breath for love. Honor the power of the breath, the gift of life, and appreciate the ripeness of this moment to activate and uplift your spirit in a service, deep, lasting, systemic change. Breath ignites the heart, the splendor of your heart illuminates your mind and inspires your body. And here in this gift of conscious breathing embodiment, let the spirit that you are gently awaken the body that you have, wiggling your toes and your fingers, stretching through your arms and your legs. Be the breath and feel your body. Literally wrapping yourself around yourself, for this is and you are the gift of life. The point the universe is trying to make on purpose every time it breathes life into you. When you're ready, bend your legs, feel both feet on the ground. Just take a moment to pull yourself down to earth. Call yourself back to reality. Take a breath. Take a moment to visualize the ways in which you stretch yourself in this practice of yoga into all of the activities of your daily life. In so doing, having the greatest possible positive impact on those in the world around you in your own unique way. Imagine that. Gently roll to one side, press through strong arms to find your way into a comfortable seated posture. The eyes can be softly open or softly closed. We'll bring the hands together before the heart once again, Anjali Mudra. In a gesture of sincere self-reverence for the voice of the true teacher, which is never further than the heart, which is never further than the breath that connects us all together as one from heart to heart. Let's seal in our time together. Let's invoke blessings for ourselves and each other and the upliftment of all beings everywhere by sharing together and calling out the voices of our hearts and the sound of one final Om. As always, feel free to join into the sound or let it wash over you. Deep breath in. As you bow to your heart, with all my heart I bow to every one of you. Thank you so much for your practice and your presence here together today. And with my whole heart, I thank you all for all that you are and all that you do every single day of this life. Thanks, everyone.
Thank
Thanks, y'all. Thank you.
So many announcements. I didn't even look. I don't know. Yoga and cello is happening in June with Anisha and Hale. 80s yoga pop-up with Alex on Friday night, May 30th. 80s yoga pop-up with Alex on Friday. Trying to think what, oh, thank you. It's like really it's right here. Oh, so in June we do a bunch of fundraisers too, so keep an eye out for that. It's not on here yet. We do a Juneteenth fundraiser for Get Fresh Daily. We also have a Pride fundraiser with Brian, the Rainbow Chakras and Identity with Brian, who is both a brilliant yoga teacher and psychotherapist, so really interesting lens for practice and service for something greater with purpose. So June's a big month. Applied Assist for yoga teachers with Anisha, assisting public classes for new yoga teachers with Eric. And at the end of June, we culminate with the Relief Roadmap, Master Therapeutic Movement, Self-Massage, and Stress Release Tools for Freedom from Anxiety, Overwhelm, and Persistent Pain, led by Deneen, one of my trainers from New York City, who hasn't been here since before pandemic. She's brilliant. She taught us the role model method, and she has a whole system called Retrain Back Pain, and she's coming here for a one-day workshop. If you're not at a wedding, mark your calendar, June 28th, Saturday, from 1 to 7, and I'm sure you'll get tons of stuff, not just for yourself, but the people you love as well, that you'll have, it'll last a lifetime. So check that out. Anyone else have any announcements from the neighborhood? Anything going on you want to tell us all about? Okay. Have the best rest of your Memorial Day weekend.
You too.
Happy summer. Thanks, friends at home. Have a great